Your things are past the first gate. Take them, leave them. I don't really give a fig.
Don't smile so wide. Someone's liable to see. Could mean trouble.
I can't help myself. Just so glad to see you.
Glad to see you too, my vampire friend. Thanks for getting Dandelion to come out.
It was nothing. True, he was not at first terribly eager to face the Duchess, but I managed to persuade him his person was indispensable.
Well played. Dandelion loves being indispensable.
Yet he so rarely is, poor man.
What did you do while
While you vegetated in that correctional facility, I used the time to think. Wish to know what I thought about?
Of course.
The relationship between two numbers. Dettlaff's 4 victims and the 5 chivalric virtues. As you've no doubt noted, there's a difference of 1.
Mean to tell me, after all we figured out, that you now believe in the whole 5 virtues punished theory?
Belief's got nothing to do with it. It's cold logic, deduction. Syanna went to great lengths to make folk believe the beast was punishing those who betrayed the virtues. Were I in her shoes, I'd make sure the number of victims matched. Are you not at all curious who was meant to be the 5th?
If I say yes, what then?
Then you'll come with me for another chat with the Boot Black. You see, I've learned he delivered the notes to Dettlaff. Our search starts with him.
Guess it wouldn't hurt to talk to him. But let's meet there. Wanna look around town first, work out some kinks.
Acceptable, I suppose. I shall await by the Boot Black stand.
Jack, be nimble.
Vampires attack the city?
Keep calm!
Come on.
Start no frogs!
Whoa there, Roach.
Friends yesterday, partners today, and tomorrow, lovebirds tomorrow. Long live Matilda and Master Leah.
Can't afford a barber, let alone my wares.
They say storks bring babies.
Massacre at the estate of Durand de
Deepest
Savarin.
apologies.
Elven statues come to life
Hey,
to slaughter
don't you
members
step
of the
on me.
history of Toussaint Friends Society.
Greetings. I hope your search goes well.
What do you have on offer? Farewell.
Good luck on the path.
From Her Illustrious Highness, the Ducal Chancellery is... Each day beyond capacity. Droves arrive to demand compensation for the damage wrought throughout the city by the vampire horde. All are henceforth asked. Scour all the fair.
Got the shivers.
The hussie's got a waist thin as a rope.
Monsters are your catnip. That is mine.
Ah!
camp's abandoned, but a lot of this damage is recent. Guess I arrived just a little too late. Should look around still. Signs of a fight. Paw prints, beastly ones, that's clear. Just on this spot, though. Aerial attack. Must have been. Blood. Of the fresh variety. Monster attack was recent. Man. Bled to death. Big beast inflicted these wounds. Clear from the claw marks. Must have a toothy smile, too, judging by what ripped his throat open. Draconid. Gotta be. Maybe a basilisk? Except these prints don't belong to any variety I know. Just a little different. Area's dangerous. I'd say there's a basilisk nesting around here. You'd be wise to remain at some distance.
Yes, I'm familiar with the matter, and quite proud to say a basilisk does nest here. I look after it personally.
Look after it? It's not exactly a pet. Beasts murdering folk who come through here.
Just a minute. It does not murder those who do not trespass upon its territory. I posted a number of signs, warnings, specifically to prevent anyone from coming to any harm.
Well, a lot of good they did. Got a freshly mangled corpse right here.
Most likely a merchant, the poor bloke. Just today, I learned 2 traders had chosen this route despite the signs. I came as quick as I could to warn them. Too late, alas. I've instructed my servants. They shall take the body, return it to the family with a generous sum as recompense.
Pay the victim's family's compensation? Why?
These lands have been my family's for decades, granted to us by Duchess Ademarta. Beyond them, the basilisk ventures not, hunts not, it does not kill or destroy. Provided it is not provoked. Yet if it does destroy, if it kills, I compensate all for their loss, from my own coffers.
Your coffers. Got a store of sons and husbands in there to compensate for those shredded by your beast?
Naturally, I cannot revive the dead, but I do make generous restitution to their loved ones. Just last summer, I paid a leather tooler's widow 800 crowns, this unfortunate merchant's family, to be duly indemnified as well.
Claim this to be the last surviving basilisk? How do you figure?
The last of this subspecies. Their population was much larger at one time, see? Before the beech forests were felled.
Mean to suggest a direct correlation between beechwood forest density and basilisk populations?
Indirect, I'd prefer to contend. Beechwood forests are the chief habitat of roe deer, you see. In turn, a staple of the basilisk diet. When roe deer grew scarce, basilisks made humans their staple food. Enter the witchers. And thus, we've come to this one last specimen. It's a female. As recently as last year, we still had 2. But Jocast's mate passed on, alas.
Jocast?
Should she not have a name? My father dubbed her in honor of my dear departed mother. Jocast was brooding then. 2 eggs. That she cast from her nest, alas, when the male perished.
Who exactly are you? And how'd you develop such an interest in the beast?
Count Borges, happy to be of service. As to the beast, well, this subspecies is our dynastic symbol. The de Salfareses have for centuries signed with the Regulus Platinum. As family legend has it, a female of the species rescued an ancestor, a boy at the time, from a burning building. She took the tyke back to her nest, where she fed him as if he were one of her own youngsters.
Malarkey.
To be sure, but beautiful malarkey it is.
Where's the basilisk nesting? Any idea?
Of course I've an idea, but you don't really expect me to tell you. Those are not toy swords. I know your intentions.
Find it myself then. Easy to track with its distinct paw prints. Mentioned 2 merchants, so I might also look for the other corpse. Basilisk scales are usually thicker, not nearly so fine. Could be more sensitive to fire, this one.
Alas, it is true. Your caste has a terrible fear of fire. She's a highly sensitive creature. Rid your mind of any thought to kill her. You would destroy the last of a species.
Strange. These burn marks. Beast's venom make them? Subspecies must be highly toxic.
It is so indeed. A wound from a sterling basilisk festers long.
Need to brew a potion that'll neutralize that. Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Beast smashed the barrels. That's how the scent got on the scale.
Yokoko is so very curious. Strong scents especially intrigue her. The barrels, they must have drawn her in. Drawn her to the caravan.
Busted barrels slimed with venom. Hallmarks of an attack. Basilisk must have caught the second victim here. Anyway, got 2 scents. Venom and tannin. Ought to be enough to track the beast.
Why track her at all? Your caste is protected. Her death would forever destabilize the ecosystem. Who knows what would happen? I see unforeseeable consequences down the line. Simply refrain from provoking her. Harm her not, and she too will leave you untouched. I've long suspected they do it on purpose. Scent their goods. They seek to lure the basilisk to destroy their wares. It allows them to demand compensation from their assurers.
Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Odors dispersed. Seems to be everywhere. Basilisk must be high in the sky. Bloodstains. Clear as day. Sense perceptible again. Just as I expected. Second victim, but relatively unscathed. Basilisk must have been dragging him back to its nest for later. Dropped him for some reason. Wonder why. Just as I expected. Second victim, but relatively unscathed. Basilisk must have been dragging him back to its nest for later. Dropped him for some reason. Wonder why. Hear something, but it's no basilisk screech. Human voices?
Senses we're true readers. Stand right.
Sure.
Yamo, Harry, prepare the equipment. Beast wandered off somewheres. We got to lure it back. And who might you be?
Funny. About to ask you the same.
They call us the Reavers.
Reavers? Wouldn't happen to hail from Crinfrid, would you?
Aye, we do. But how's it you know? And again, who the hell are you?
Geralt of Rivia. I'm a witcher. Know your brethren in arms. Bohold, Kenneton Desperate, New Boy too.
Ah, you're that witcher. Aye, Bohold mentioned you. Said you swing a mean sword.
A professional. Good you came along. Could take on the brute together. Talk is the venom's something horrifying. Could use another pair of hands. Fee what we've gotten from the guild. We'll share it fair and square. You in?
Gentlemen, this hurts my ears and pains my heart. You aim to kill your caste? It cannot be. The creature is protected. If you fear to lose the guild's reward, I shall repay it, and reward you doubly to leave the beast be. You cannot slay the last living specimen of a near-extinct subspecies.
Willing to pay, are you? Long as we do nothing? That's rather novel. What say you to that, master? Far as I know, beasts culled the human race by 5 already.
Basilisk lives for now. We're not gonna kill it.
A witcher defending a beast. Ever seen that, lads? You like them peaches?
Ah, no scrapping with filth today, it seems. But, you made some mention of coin, as I recall.
I did indeed. And the word once given...
Your share, Witcher.
Easiest job I've ever done. Godspeed, Witcher. Strange working with you. Strange, but nice.
Godspeed, boys.
You spared your caste. I thank you. And be assured, I'll take great care she not dine on any other souls.
Gotta try harder. Figure out a way to keep folk out of this area.
That I shall do. Master, you must accept more, be it a symbolic sum. Had you not come along, the Reefers would surely have slain my Yokast.
Thanks.
Yokast has flown her nest.
Must have sensed a threat. Likely to return eventually, though.
She'll return. Always does. I suspect I might even know where she's gone. I tracked her away and believe she might have found a new mate. It's an ordinary basilisk, not a silvery one. But something might come of it. Who knows? Your caste could lay new eggs. Perhaps produce an entirely new crossbreed.
Sure hope not. Take care.
The light is inopportune at the moment. Could you return around noon?
I'm here.
Let us go! We should arrive in time to have the best light of the day. The chiaroscuro we shall capture. Just glorious.
Let's go. The things I do for art.
We had best ride there. We'll arrive faster and less fatigued.
Storm.
A work of mine. Turtle dove o'er the heath. Hangs in the ducal palace.
So does a cockatrice I cut down once. It's stuffed, maybe even with heather.
I once had a cockatrice feather brush. Best thing for laying down tempera. I no longer have it, sadly. My blasted cat swiped it.
Why would a cat want a brush?
To paint with, of course. And it was no common brush. Fantastic, as I said. And fantastically expensive.
Hang on. Got a cat that paints?
Yeah, if you care to call it that. He merely copies the works of his betters. And poorly at that.
Your cat?
Yes. Pierre Auguste Moustachois. It's no surprise you've not heard of him. He's a second-rate hack and a thief. We'll continue on foot. Ladies, gentlemen, my lieges, forgive me for being forward, but have you perchance seen a set of paints and brushes nearby?
Eugenie, I believe this peasant wants something from us.
My paints, my brushes, I had prepared them. They were here.
We've not seen any journeyman's tools, my good man. Of that I assure you.
There a problem?
Yes, an immense one. I cannot possibly paint without my paints. I'm done for. Unless you would be kind enough to locate them?
Wouldn't happen to have another set with you? And, nothing you could use instead?
My word. Would you really have me scrawl with charcoal like an animal?
Damn it. Sure you left them here?
Yes, right there. I'd prepared everything. Set it out. Ordered and organized.
Might have toppled downhill or something. Fine. I'll take a look around.
I think it is life that imitates art, and not vice versa.
Right you are, Fingal. Take Baron de Cordel for one.
Oh yes, that nose. He actually had a mage enlarge it after he saw that the Reb Courage play.
And now he's begun courting his cousin.
Spilled paint. Reeks to high heavens of turpentine. Footprints. Clear, but curiously small. Another stain. Could very well be a lead. paint drops here, too. Footprints. Smudged. Got paint drops here, too. Neckers? Look like they made off with the paints. Question is, why?
Damn, you're ugly.
Cave paintings. This here looks a bit like a necker. Big blobs, what? A troll? Neckers depicting their victory over some trolls? That even possible? Necker propaganda? Paints. Don't look ruined. Painter should still be able to use them.
My deepest regards.
Found your things.
Splendid. Where were they? And... is this all you found? I left so much more.
Should have kept it all with you, not left it lying around. Followed some paint tracks to a necker lair. Seems the beast's made off with your supplies. Used it to paint a fresco on one of the cave walls. Looked something like a battle scene to me.
Impossible. They splashed paint on the wall in a rage. Unimportant. In any case, it's a good thing you found the basic colors. Shall we? While waiting, I spied a superior spot. We have had fantastic luck with the weather. The light is perfect, absolutely perfect.
Painting this masterpiece gonna take long?
A mere 6 hours. The sun won't allow us to work any longer than that. Oh, but the time will fly by. We'll chat, swap tales.
Better yet, let me down a potion. Time will definitely fly by in a state of lethargy. No need to swap tales.
No. Your expression, your posture, they must be just so. You must look alive with fire in your gaze. Lethargy is out of the question.
Come on, give it some thought. You can title the painting, A Witcher Lying Senselessly on the Heath.
You jest. A jesting witcher.
This the place?
Yes. Just look at the view. Breathtaking. The perfect background for our masterpiece.
Pretty, I guess.
Now, you must carefully consider in what pose you wish to be immortalized.
All right. Considering.
All is ready. We may begin. Have you decided on the pose you'd like to adopt?
How about I be on horseback? I mean, Roach kind of deserves to be immortalized too.
Oh, yes. A horse. Exceptional idea. But I would rather you perch atop Alexander, my mount. I've trained him to pose. I shall paint in the carcass of a slain griffin later. Now, raise your head to exude pride. Thrust your breast forward. Go on, breast forward. I want to see those hocks extended. Ahem. Is the horse paying attention? May I begin? Or would you rather try a different pose?
Let me try something else. Maybe I could just stand, sword in hand.
Ah, splendid! A heroic pose, of course! The bold warrior, his sword held aloft, ready to run at that willow over there. I will paint in a griffin later. Shall I begin? Or would you prefer to adopt another pose?
Let me try something else. Think I'll lie down. At least that way I can nap while you work.
The hero at rest, lying on his side, propped up on an elbow, staring into the distance, relishing a victory. I can paint in a griffin corpse later. Though, naturally, a nap is out of the question. We resolved that earlier. May I begin? Or would you prefer to strike a more dynamic pose?
Let me try something else. Maybe I could just stand, sword in hand.
Ah, splendid! A heroic pose, of course! The bold warrior, his sword held aloft, ready to run at that willow over there. I will paint in a griffin later. Shall I begin? Or would you prefer to adopt another pose?
Go ahead.
Now, be so kind as to adopt that look you gave me when I first asked you to work with me. That intense scowl of an angry wild ram about to butt heads. Yes, excellent. Now, hold that. Do not budge.
This gonna take much longer?
Not much at all. We'll run out of daylight soon. Please, keep your head still, in the same position.
Fine, I'll try. I'll also try to remember to never trust a painter again.
Griffin!
Yeah, I know. You'll paint one in later.
Gods! A griffin!
Run and hide!
Dearest Mummy! Is it safe?
Yeah, come on out. And no wonder no one ever came here. It was a griffin's hunting ground.
Oh, that thing scared me to death!
Not quite to death. You are alive. Not least because you chose a witcher to sit for you. How's the painting? It survived too?
It did. But I cannot show it to you now. I never display unfinished work. You can see it tomorrow, after midday, where we met. I shall display it in the market square. Oof, monstrous beast. Shall we immortalize it in the painting?
Yeah, let's add it. Carcass can serve as your prop.
Splendid! Interesting color palette. And the textures and the proportions. It will do. Yes, it will do. But I shall paint it in later, in my atelier. There's an excellent illustration in the Encyclopedia Maxima Mundi. I fear this specimen is, well, too far cut and chopped. Ah, very well. That will do for now. I shall polish the details later. No point struggling on in this fading light. Ah, I almost forgot. Payment for your troubles. And I thank you for saving my life. Though, in doing so, you did also save your likeness. For posterity.
Run, Roach. Come on. Come on, Roach. Faster. I'm walking on water. Just like...
Like who?
Like a pond skater. Who are you thinking?
No matter. I suppose you thought nothing else in life could surprise you, eh? Wrong.
Hey, happen to know how the hell I can walk on that water?
Naturally, I know. Since time immemorial have I dwelt in solitude on this shore, and I can testify to the extraordinary nature of the lake.
What's so extraordinary about it? I mean, besides the fact that you can walk on its surface.
A sword, most wondrous, lies in its depths. I watch over it. The blade may be grasped solely by one who possesses the 5 chivalric virtues.
Folk call me a lot of things, but virtuous? I don't know.
Yet I do know, for I know who you are. You have proven yourself capable of great sympathy. You are a man of honor, as many can attest. Of humble means yourself. You showed generosity to others. Your valor is the stuff of legends. Reason guides your actions, as it does those of all who are wise. You have proven the 5 chivalric virtues dwell in your heart.
Mean the sword's mine? I can dive in and take it?
The sword deserves the hand of a master. You must prove your skills are worthy through combat atop the water's surface. Are you ready?
Anytime.
Then draw your blade. This is the last test. You must show what you're made of.
Pathetic.
My favorite part of the test. You have proven worthy of wielding the blade, beyond all doubt.
Behold, your Arendite.
We've met before.
Certainly. The hermit admitted he knew you, remember?
The Lady of the Lake.
It is I. Forget not that you are a man right and honorable, devoted to doing good. And for these reasons you received the blade. Now bear it. And I trust this time you shall not lose it.
Just wonderful. Hey-ya! Run, Roach.
It's the chap with the swords. Sir, you look like some beast ate you up then spat you out. Are you here for a spiffing? Boots make the man, they say. Step on up.
Need to ask you something.
Yet again? Go on then. I'm a proponent of free speech and I will gladly tell you all I know. But why not get your boots shanked while we jabber?
Guess they could use a spit and polish.
Then I shall take advantage as well. A friend of mine used to say boots should be as clean as the soles that wear them.
Clean boots, clean soles. A fine slogan.
How's business?
Well enough. I can't complain. Though it'd be even better were certain folk to sit down for a shine as they stood and chatted.
Man in the frock coat. You passed him some letters, remember?
Why, of course. I'm young, got a mind like a steel trap, but...
If you're about to tell me this information'll cost me, forget it. How'd you get those letters?
Beggars brought them.
Why didn't you tell us this before, when we first talked?
You didn't ask about beggars now, did you?
Beggars. Tell us more about them. How many were there?
Why, 4. 1 for each letter.
Just 4? Sure you didn't get a 5th?
I can't count, you know.
Remember anything else? These beggars have anything in common?
What? Come now. Each was different. Some had mismatched boots, others had no boots at all. Oh, I know! They all had no home!
Kid, my patience is starting to run a little thin. Now think hard. Remember what they looked like?
Of course. I've a mind like a steel trap, as I said. They were ragged, unshaved. Their clothes were tattered. As to their boots, well, I mentioned that already.
Geralt, allow me to ask a question. Listen, lad. I'll be glad to mix another batch of that boot shine for you. But you must focus now and tell us all you know. Where can we find the beggars?
Well, at the shelter, most like.
Where's that?
Everyone knows. It's just round the corner. Up those stairs, then right.
Thanks, kid. For your trouble. You must visit the shelter. Look around inside.
Hep shoop dum darere hep shoop.
You've to move your little camp elsewhere, got it? This is a decent district. We need no filth folk bumming about. You? What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now.
Gentlemen, calm, please.
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a rank refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
The shelter, them living here, bothers you. Question is why?
Look, Ballard. Another defender of the poor. Fighter for justice.
Damn nuisance. We've our women and young folk living next door, when even grown men fear to walk past such rabble.
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves.
Why? Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
We should step aside, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
You are one damn squib.
My spirit as well as my flesh is weak.
All right. I can take a hint. Come, time to go.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere, were we to have somewhere to go. But you've come with a problem, have you? My turn to aid you.
What is this place? Poorhouse?
You could call it that. They come here to rest and eat a hot meal.
You help them, why?
Because they need help.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the bootblack in Rue de Garl.
The bootblack? A feisty lad. I know him.
Any of your, wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
Sure all your usual beggars will be here?
They're not obliged to come, of course. But they rarely find a decent meal elsewhere. So, almost all in the area eat here.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold, and we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the bootblack. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romain?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romain. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the bootblack. And Freshy, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
It's a matter of importance to the duchy. Hand it over, or I'll take it from you, plain and simple.
But I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was frightening.
You ought to heed folk who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right, take it. I didn't want to see the boot black anyways. It's always muddy there.
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duchessa. It seems we underestimated Siana rather grossly.
Judging by this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Puzzle complete now.
Alas, the matter's ceased to be a tantalizing brain tease and has turned incredibly grave. We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint's ruler. We've proof of a coup d'etat.
Duchess was to be Detloff's last victim. Siana planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to Siana, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons. Most would have thought Anna Henrietta had died for her sins. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions, ample proof of a lack of compassion.
Why would Siana murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, and yes. All those make sense, and none are mutually exclusive.
Can only guess what drove Siana. Luckily, Anna Henrietta is safe now.
I believe we may dare to assume so. Siana's death was also the death of the Duchess's only natural rival. She is in no danger, for now.
Pretty rare thing for a ruler. What do we do now?
Now we drink. Unless, that is, you feel a witcherly duty to see the Duchess and tell her what we just learned.
Think this might be something Anna Henrietta should know.
As you wish. I shall await you at Mare la Chaiselongue. A mug of mandrake brew to keep me company.
Not coming with?
No. After the horror Detlaff brought down upon the city, and in light of Siana's death, I think it wiser not to appear at the palace.
Probably right. See you later then.
Before heading to the palace, you might wish to see if Anna Henrietta is not at the city cemetery. She spent a great deal of time at her sister's grave these last days.
Those faces again. Sleep.
Let me live.
Ow!
Come on.
Oh!
I would kill for a bite.
Where's that coat gone this time?
If you think killing the beast gets...
Whoa there, Roach.
You're very, very wrong.
Knight, bluff, and wine counsel no half-hearted measures.
Come on.
Not even a draft horse.
Massacre at the estate of Durand de Savarin! Elven statues come to life to slaughter members of the History of Toussaint Friends Society!
Greetings. I hope your search goes well.
What do you... Farewell.
Good luck on the path.
Extinction of rare species and the dangers this represents to the natural world.
You will not find good.
Move it! Free of charge.
The massacre at Duntime. Was that your cleaver at work too? Butcher of Blaviken?
Greetings.
Geralt! There you are. So, our painting. Are you pleased? Is it to your liking? Do tell.
Not exactly what I imagined. I believe I posed with all my clothes on. Clearly remember that, in fact. Some other details are off, too.
Invalid as a criticism. I depicted you in a more flattering state. The painting has drawn crowds, aroused a great deal of interest.
Can see that. Anyway, some advice for the future. Warn your subjects about your intentions. Your next model might not be so forgiving.
You don't like it. I'm hurt. Perhaps you'd care to buy the painting. Given our rapport, I shall take a loss. For you, I'll part with it, I will, at a special price.
Huh. As special as it is, that's still quite a price. Afraid I don't have that much coin.
Not a problem. Come back when you do. Though I cannot guarantee someone won't have beaten you to it.
Richard's rather handsome.
He's no hero. That's the butcher of Blaviken.
All work and no play, right, Witcher?
Do you know my favorite wine? It's Geralt of Rivia.
Geralt, why have you come? Forgotten already? The murderer you were to kill lives, while the Duchess's sister lies dead.
Wouldn't have come if I didn't have to. Promise you that. But I've learned something. Something that might interest Anna Henrietta.
Forgive me if I lend no credence to your word.
Found a letter Sienna wrote. To the murderer.
Very well. You may enter. But I make no promises as regards the Duchessa.
She mourns her sister in the ducal crypt. Viscount de Lettenhove is with her.
Remember, my dear Henrietta, despair is like a stormy sky. Sooner or later, the sun must drive away the clouds.
That is easy for you to say. The one murdered was not your sister.
My life hasn't exactly been a bed of roses. True, my sister wasn't murdered. Don't even have a sister, actually, but many times I've lost. Unimportant.
Your Grace.
The impudence you must harbor to come in here after all that's happened.
Calm down. I'm sure Geralt's got a very good reason. Right, Geralt?
Before you start dumping accusations on me, I think you should know something. Sienna, she was a vicious, wicked woman.
Who are you to tell me who my own sister was?
I'm the man you hired to investigate the Beast of Beauclair. And I found a letter your sister wrote to the murderer.
Really? Maybe you should read it then. It could be important.
You read it, Dandelai, aloud to me.
This time you must see to our Duchessa. Anna Henrietta knows nothing of empathy. Her heart is cold. This shard of ice you must tear from her breast.
My sister could never have written that.
Got proof she did.
No. I don't believe you. I don't believe it. Someone seeks to blacken her in my eyes. I won't allow it.
There, Henrietta. Don't get upset.
The letter is vile. It's slander. You must destroy it. Do you hear? No one else must ever read it. Ever!
Consider it done.
And you, out! Get out of here! This is all you're doing! Begone, hear me! I never wish to see you again! I shall never believe she did this. She was not capable. This is an outrage, Dandelion. Tell him it's not true. Tell him it's a dirty lie.
Geralt, get out of here, please. The Duchess, she needs to be alone.
As to her enlightened highness, didn't go great. Got the full kaleidoscope of her emotional states. Spun through it at an impressive pace, too.
Am I to understand she didn't throw her arms about you and shower you with thanks for saving her from her murderous sister?
Got that right. I don't blame her, though. Luckily, Dandelion was there to smooth things over. Somewhat.
As you know, I had little sympathy for Sienna. Nonetheless, I very much regret I could not keep her safe. To you, her ultimate fate, does it still bring on the occasional pang of regret?
Yep. Still.
Well then, drink up.
Always seemed a very complex creature to me, by your very nature. Not one to go in for simple methods like drinking your worries away.
I fear there are worries for which, quite simply, there is no other medicine.
Beauclair seems safe now, though I'm still left wondering. I mean, Detloff's alive. Think Anna Henrietta's still in danger?
No. He had a score to settle with Sienna. By his reckoning, he did just that. He has no reason to attack anyone else, or to remain in Beauclair any longer.
Sure hope so. Though in his boots, I'd regret having to go. Place is just plain beautiful, damn it.
Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home, on the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
Know what? Think I just might. Come on now, don't laugh. Maybe not today or tomorrow. But one day I'll want to see what it's like. To just wake up every day in my own bed.
Oh, stop, please. Sounds so sentimental, my fangs have begun to hurt. Then what? Will you begin writing your memoirs like Dandelion? I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. What about you now? Got a plan?
I do. I must find Detlef. Help him. I certainly owe him that much.
Vampire friendships. Clear rules. Must be nice.
Do I detect a note of sarcasm?
Not at all. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do. Actually, I'd love to go home.
Run, Roach.
Master Witcher, some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
You look good. Come. Don't just stand there. I want a hug.
Thought I'd never see you again.
Well, I've departed, escaped, been forced to flee so many times. Yet, I always returned. You ought to be used to it by now. I like coming back into your life.
I'm just glad you're here.
You've a lovely home, with a great deal of potential.
And got it from the Duchess as her down payment for killing the beast. Even started to renovate a bit. Come outside, let me show you the grounds.
Ah, it's lovely here. I could stay forever.
Anything stopping you?
Obligations, duties. I'm only here because Emir concluded I must get to know what I'll rule once I take the throne. So I'm on a tour of the provinces with a small swarm of advisors. Which essentially means they take turns lecturing me while I follow them about, scribbling notes.
Plan to stay in Beauclair a while?
A bit. I convinced my advisors we'd be unwise to depart before I tasted each of this year's wines. My knowledge would be incomplete, you see. Though, actually, just between you and me, I'm not certain I'm cut out to rule, govern, all that.
Thinking you might give it up?
I can't say just yet, but I'm not willing to rule it out.
Preparations for the coronation coming along?
Not at all. I told him I'm in no hurry. I must see what the whole thing's about first. Acquaint myself with the Empire's institutions, laws, and so forth.
No pressure from Emir to speed things along?
He tried. But I told him I wish to be a good ruler, a strong ruler, not some puppet.
No one else in the world he'd give in to like that.
I had nothing to do with that. There's just no one else in the world who's his daughter. Speaking of which, as the future Empress, I could secure you a comfortable position as court witcher.
Thanks, but just not my thing, that. My place is on the path.
I know. Still, had to try.
How fares your venerable father?
He seems younger, quite rejuvenated. Abandoning high-level politics seems to have done it. It's as if the very awareness of peace grants him strength, which most likely is the case.
Think he'll keep his word?
I think that depends on me. If he feels I'm up to the task, he'll head out to pasture. Yes.
And if he doesn't?
Then there'll be nothing to stop him from returning. He hasn't ever had a problem changing his mind.
See you later, Ciri.
Take care of yourself.